The screech of tires on wet asphalt echoed through my mind like a nightmare I couldn't escape, the world flipping upside down as metal crumpled and glass shattered around me. It was 1950, and in that split second on a foggy California highway, my life, or what passed for it, ended at 25, leaving behind secrets I'd buried deeper than my own grave. But death wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of an eternity watching the living move on without me, until one rainy night in 2025, when I found myself drawn to a dimly lit apartment in Los Angeles, where a young musician named Callum strummed a guitar that somehow made my spectral heart pulse with forgotten rhythm. I hovered there, invisible and weightless, as Callum leaned over his notebook, his fingers dancing across the strings with a melancholy that mirrored my own long-lost dreams. He was in his early 20s, with tousled dark hair and eyes that held a storm of unspoken pain. Eyes that reminded me of the boy I'd loved in secret back in the day, before society deemed such affections a crime against nature. Callum lived alone in a cramped studio above a bustling coffee shop, his days filled with gigs at underground venues and his nights wrestling with lyrics that spoke of isolation and yearning. I didn't know why I'd been pulled here, but as he sang softly about lost loves and hidden truths, I felt a tug, like an invisible thread connecting our souls across decades. At first, I thought it was a fluke, some glitch in the afterlife's cruel design. Ghosts like me, we didn't interact, we observed, haunted by regrets. Mine were plenty. Growing up in a small Midwest town where being different meant exile, fleeing to Hollywood with dreams of stardom only to end up a mechanic tinkering with cars for the stars, all while hiding my desires behind a facade of normalcy. The man I'd loved, a fellow dreamer named Tommy, had vanished after our one stolen kiss in a shadowed alley, scared off by the whispers of McCarthy-era paranoia that labeled us deviants. I died alone, my car veering off the road in a storm of grief and alcohol, and now here I was, fixated on this living echo of what I'd lost. Callum's life wasn't so different, though the world had changed. He was out, proudly gay in a city that flew rainbow flags, but the scars of rejection lingered. His family back in Texas had cut ties when he came out at 18, calling it a phase or worse, a sin. He poured that hurt into his music, crafting songs that went viral on social media but left him hollow. One evening, as rain pattered against the window, he set down his guitar and stared at the ceiling, whispering, "Why does it feel like I'm not alone?" My form flickered, a chill running through the room, and for the first time in 75 years, I wondered if I could make myself known. I started small, testing the boundaries of my existence. A misplaced sheet of music here, a door creaking open on its own there. Callum noticed, dismissing it as drafts or fatigue at first. But then came the dreams, vivid ones where he saw flashes of 1950s America. Drive-in theaters, sock hops, and a young man with my face, laughing under neon lights. He woke up sweating, jotting down notes that uncannily matched lyrics I'd hummed in my head during lonely nights as a ghost. "It's like someone's whispering songs to me," he confided to his best friend, Mia, over coffee one morning. She laughed it off, but I saw the doubt in her eyes, the way she glanced around as if sensing my presence. The pull grew stronger. I learned about Callum through his routines, the way he volunteered at LGBTQ youth centers, helping kids navigate the same prejudices I'd faced, albeit softened by time. Society had progressed, marriages legal, protections in place, but echoes of hate persisted, in online trolls harassing his posts or protesters at pride events. Callum fought back with his art, but the exhaustion showed in his slumped shoulders. One night, during a power outage, he lit candles and played an old jazz record on a vintage player he'd scavenged. The melody was one I'd loved, Autumn Leaves, and as it filled the room, I manifested for the first time. A translucent figure in the corner, my 1950s leather jacket and jeans a stark contrast to his modern world. He froze, guitar slipping from his hands. "Who? What are you?" His voice trembled, but there was no fear, only curiosity laced with that same yearning I'd felt. I didn't speak. Ghosts couldn't, or so I'd thought. But something shifted, and words formed in the air, faint as whispers. "James, I've been waiting." His eyes widened, and in that moment, our worlds collided. sparking a connection that defied death itself. As the lights flickered back on, I vanished, but the air hummed with possibility, and Callum picked up his guitar, strumming a new tune that felt like it was born from both our hearts. The days blurred into a tentative routine. I'd appear in glimpses, a reflection in the mirror, a shadow on the wall, and communicate through signs. Rearranging his lyrics to form messages, or causing his phone to play old radio broadcasts from my era. Callum researched ghosts, delving into forums and books, piecing together my story from public records of the crash. James Harlan, born 1925, died in a single-car accident. He read aloud one afternoon, his voice soft with empathy. No family claimed the body. That's tragic. I felt a warmth I hadn't known since life, as if his acknowledgement breathed air into my faded existence. But conflicts arose, as they always do in stories like ours. Callum's friends worried he was losing it, talking to thin air. Mia staged an intervention, bringing a psychic who sensed my energy but warned of dangers. Spirits cling for a reason. This could drain you. Callum defended us, with a fire that surprised even him. He's not draining me. He's inspiring me. And it was true. His music soared, gigs turning into sold-out shows, songs about timeless love resonating with audiences grappling with their own identities. Yet, doubt crept in. Was this real, or his imagination coping with loneliness? Social ripples spread. A viral video of Callum performing a song he claimed was co-written with a ghost sparked debates online. Supporters hailed it as romantic, a queer love story transcending time. Critics called it delusional, accusing him of exploiting mental health for fame. Reporters hounded him, digging into my past, uncovering rumors of my unnatural lifestyle that had led to my isolation. Was James Harlan a victim of 1950s homophobia? One article pondered, stirring controversy that mirrored today's culture wars. Callum faced backlash. Lost followers, hate mail, but it only drew us closer, our bond a quiet rebellion against judgment. As weeks turned to months, emotions deepened. I'd share memories through visions. My first crush on Tommy, the pain of hiding, the joy of stolen moments. Callum opened up about his ex, a guy who'd left when fame beckoned, leaving him questioning if love was worth the risk. "With you, it's different," he said one night, staring at where I hovered. "You're here, even when you're not." I longed to touch him, to feel the warmth of skin, but my form remained ethereal, a cruel reminder of our divide. Still, in quiet hours we'd talk, his words filling the void, my responses in flickering lights or moved objects, building a language of love born from necessity. The high of connection crashed against reality. Callum's career exploded, a record deal on the horizon, but so did the scrutiny. A conservative talk show host lambasted him as promoting occult perversion, igniting protests outside his shows. His estranged family reached out, not with reconciliation, but condemnation. This ghost nonsense proves we were right to distance ourselves. Hurt, Callum retreated, questioning if pursuing this was selfish, if I was holding him back from a normal life. "James, what if you're stuck because of me?" he asked, tears in his eyes. I signaled no, but the seed of doubt planted, tension building like a storm on the horizon. The storm broke on a crisp autumn evening, when Callum performed at a major venue in downtown LA, the crowd electric with anticipation. His setlist included Echoes of Yesterday, a ballad we'd collaborated on, weaving my 1950s jazz influences with his indie folk style. As he sang, I manifested subtly, a shimmer in the stage lights that only he noticed, fueling his passion. The audience roared, but backstage, chaos awaited. A reporter cornered him, microphone thrust forward. "Is this ghost real, or a marketing ploy to capitalize on LGBTQ struggles?" Callum faltered, his face paling. "It's real. James is real." The clip went viral, splitting opinions. Allies praised his vulnerability, while detractors labeled it fraud, demanding proof. Back home, the weight crushed him. "They're tearing us apart, James," he whispered, pacing the room. I tried to comfort him, knocking over a photo of us. Well, him with an empty space where I'd be, but it only heightened his frustration. I need more than signs. I need you here. For the first time, anger flared between us, an invisible rift widening. I retreated into the shadows, reflecting on my own past conflicts. The arguments with Tommy over secrecy, how fear had driven him away. History repeating, I thought, a bitter cycle of love thwarted by society's gaze. Callum sought solace in the youth center, mentoring a teen named Riley, who faced bullying for being non-binary. Love shouldn't be this hard, Riley confided, echoing Callum's turmoil. It stirred something in him, resolve. He decided to go public fully, scheduling a live stream to share our story, complete with evidence. Recordings of unexplained phenomena, historical docs on my life. If they want proof, they'll get it, he declared. I signaled approval, but unease gnawed. Exposure could bind me or banish me. Folklore warned of spirits revealed too soon. The live stream drew thousands. Callum nervous but determined. He recounted our meeting, played clips of objects moving, read from my crash report. Comments flooded. Support from queer communities, skepticism from others. Then, a twist. An elderly man messaged, claiming to be Tommy's nephew. My uncle spoke of a James before he passed. Said he regretted leaving. Callum's eyes lit with hope. See? It's not just me. But trolls swarmed, doxing him, threats pouring in. Freak show, one read. The session ended in tears, Callum slamming his laptop. Is this worth it, James? The hate. It's like your era all over again. The backlash escalated. Sponsors dropped him. Gigs canceled amid controversy. His manager urged damage control. Say it was a metaphor for lost love. But Callum refused, his integrity clashing with practicality. In quiet moments, we'd reconnect. Him playing tunes, me influencing the melody, but tension simmered. One night, after a heated argument with Mia over his obsession, he shouted into the empty room. James, show yourself. Prove you're not destroying my life. I appeared fully, my form solidifying in moonlight, close enough to see the freckles on his nose. I'm not, I whispered, voice finally breaking through. He reached out, hand passing through me, a sob escaping. Then why can't I have you? Emotions swirled into a vortex. I shared visions of my death. The car spinning, regrets flashing. Not coming out, not fighting for Tommy. Don't repeat my mistakes, I urged. Callum nodded, but doubt lingered. Society's conflicts amplified ours. A podcast debated if ghost-human romance glorified mental illness, sparking online petitions. Callum's family disowned him publicly, a tabloid splash. Yet, amid the storm, allies emerged, fans sharing stories of their own impossible loves, building a community around us. As winter approached, a breakthrough. Callum composed Timeless Beat, a song that captured our essence, climbing charts despite controversy. It humanized us, turning debate into dialogue. But personal toll mounted. Callum grew thin, sleep elusive, haunted by nightmares of losing me. What if fame pulls us apart? He asked. I assured him no, but inwardly feared the opposite. My presence tying him to the past, preventing future loves. The climax loomed, choices weighing heavy. Cling or release, love or let go. A pivotal night arrived during a snow-dusted walk in Griffith Park. Callum confessed, James, you're the first who's seen me truly. I manifested, our hands almost touching, and you make me feel alive. But reality intruded. A fan approached, gushing, then a hater shouted slurs, reminding us of persistent prejudice. Back home, Callum researched crossing over rituals. Maybe you need peace. Panic surged. Was this goodbye? We argued silently, my lights flickering wildly. Not without you, I signaled. Resolution teetered. Callum met the nephew, learning Tommy had lived regretting us, dying alone. It mirrored our fears, pushing Callum to fight. He organized a benefit concert for LGBTQ rights, dedicating it to loves that defy time. The event buzzed, but protesters picketed, chanting against unnatural unions. Inside, as Callum performed, I poured energy into the music, the crowd swaying in unity. For a moment, harmony reigned, our bond a beacon amid discord. Yet the high faded. Post-concert, exhaustion hit Callum hard. "I can't keep this up," he admitted. I understood. My existence drained him subtly, a fact psychics confirmed. Choices crystallized. Stay and risk his health or find a way to part. Emotions peaked in a tearful exchange. "Loving you hurts, but losing you would kill me," I replied, voice stronger. "Then let's find another way." The search began for answers, delving into occult lore, building toward an inevitable confrontation with fate. The quest for answers led us to a dusty occult bookstore in Silver Lake, where Callum met Elena, a medium with a no-nonsense vibe. "Spirits linger for unfinished business," she explained, sage smoke curling around us. I hovered nearby, her eyes flicking to me. "Yours is love unfulfilled." Callum nodded, sharing our story. Elena warned of risks. Forcing a crossing could trap me forever, or bind us in limbo. "Society's already judging you too. Imagine the uproar if this goes public." But Callum persisted, borrowing books on hauntings and rituals. Our nights filled with candlelit sessions where I'd guide him through symbols from my era. Conflicts intensified externally. The benefit concert success drew media frenzy, with outlets framing our tale as a modern fairy tale or dangerous delusion. A conservative group petitioned to protect youth from Callum's influence, claiming it promoted occult homosexuality. Online, hashtags trended, "Ghost Love Real" or "Callum Hoax." Callum's streams dipped, but a niche following grew. Queer folks finding solace in our defiance. "You're showing us love wins, even against death," one fan messaged. Yet, the pressure cracked him. Arguments with his manager, isolation from friends who feared for his sanity. Internally, our bond strained under the weight. During a ritual attempt, I felt a pull toward light, visions of Tommy waiting. "Go if you must," Callum said, voice breaking. But I resisted, the choice tearing me. Not without closure. We explored my regrets. The hidden life, the crash fueled by despair. Callum empathized, sharing his own family rejection echoing mine. "We're both products of hate," he mused. It fostered deeper connection, but also resentment. Why me, a relic, when living suitors vied for him? A handsome producer flirted at a meeting, sparking jealousy I couldn't voice. The producer, named Kyle, offered a deal laced with strings. Toned down the ghost angle for mainstream appeal. Callum hesitated, tempted by stability. "James, this could change everything." I signaled disapproval, lights dimming. Tension boiled. "You're holding me back," he yelled. I vanished for days, wandering LA's streets, reflecting on how love and my time meant sacrifice. Upon returning, Callum was distraught, apologizing. "I need you more than fame." Reconciliation came in a shared melody, composing Bound by Echoes, a track blending our era's sounds. Social debates raged. A TED-style talk invited Callum to speak on love beyond boundaries. But protesters disrupted, shouting about moral decay. "Ghosts don't love, they possess," one claimed. Callum countered eloquently, "Love is love, timeless." The clip exploded, shifting some opinions, but hate mail escalated, including threats. Police got involved, adding stress. His family, watching from afar, sent a letter. "Stop this madness or you're dead to us." It mirrored my own disownment, fueling Callum's resolve but deepening wounds. As spring bloomed, a turning point, Elena facilitated a seance with artifacts from my crash, a salvaged watch. Energy surged, allowing full conversation. "James, tell me everything." I poured out my story. Childhood suppression, Tommy's betrayal, the fatal drive. "I died running from myself." Callum wept. "You're free now with me." But the seance revealed a catch. My attachment grew from his music resurrecting my passions. To stay, I drain him. To go, heartbreak. Choices loomed, emotions raw. Cal pushed harder, dinners turning flirtatious. Forget the ghost. Live in the now. Callum confided in me, conflicted. He's real, tangible. Jealousy flared, but I encouraged honesty. Choose happiness. It sparked our biggest clash. Callum accusing me of martyrdom, me signaling selflessness. Reconciliation followed, but seeds of doubt sprouted. Society amplified. A documentary crew approached, promising fair portrayal, but leaks twisted facts, portraying Callum as unstable. The climax built at a festival gig. Amid cheers, a storm hit, literal and metaphorical. Power outage, crowd panicking. I guided Callum through darkness, manifesting to calm him. Post-show, revelations. Kyle admitted ulterior motives, sabotaging for control. Callum fired him, recommitting to authenticity. James, we're in this. But health faltered, migraines, fatigue. Elena confirmed. The bond's taxing. Decision time neared, love clashing with logic. In a heartfelt night, we danced, him swaying, me mimicking. If I lose you, what then? He asked. I replied, you'll thrive. But hope flickered. Elena hinted at a rare ritual for embodiment. Risky but possible. Excitement mixed with fear, propelling us toward the unknown. Controversies peaked. A lawsuit from detractors claiming fraud. Callum fought back, turning court into platform for queer rights, echoing historical battles like Stonewall. As summer dawned, preparations intensified. Gathering items, my watch, Callum's guitar string for the ritual. Emotions surged. Fear of failure, joy of possibility. Society watched, divided. Supporters rallied, opponents decried. Our story became a mirror for debates on love's limits, identity's evolution. Choices defined us. Risk all for togetherness or part for peace. The ritual loomed like a gathering storm, set for a full moon in Elena's secluded garden overlooking the Hollywood Hills. Callum gathered the elements. My rusted watch, a lock of his hair, herbs symbolizing rebirth. This could work, James, he said, hope edging his voice. I hovered anxiously, the air thick with anticipation. Elena chanted, candles flickering as energy built. For a moment, I felt solidity. Fingers forming, heart beating faintly. Callum reached out, our hands brushing, electric. I feel you, he whispered, but backlash hit. Pain surged, visions of my crash replaying. The ritual faltered, leaving me weakened, Callum drained. Recovery was slow. Callum canceled shows, focusing on us. Worth the risk, he insisted, but doubts crept. Was this selfish, defying nature? Society's conflicts mirrored ours. A viral op-ed questioned if our love romanticized obsession, sparking panels on ethics of supernatural romance. Queer activists defended, it's about visibility for all loves. Others criticized, distracts from real issues. Callum engaged, writing essays, his voice amplifying marginalized stories. It bonded us further, but exhaustion mounted. Personal clashes arose. Mia, ever the skeptic, confronted. This is destroying you, Callum. He defended fiercely. James saved me from loneliness. She left angry, friendship strained. Echoing my past, where friends abandoned over rumors. I signaled comfort, but guilt gnawed. Callum explored therapy, sessions revealing his attachment stemmed from abandonment fears. You're my anchor, he admitted. Therapeutic insights deepened our connection, but highlighted imbalances. Me eternal, him mortal. A breakthrough came via the documentary. Crew captured genuine phenomena. Objects moving, my voice faint on tape. Released, it humanized us, shifting narratives. Awards buzzed, but controversy followed. Religious groups boycotted, claiming demonic influence. Callum faced death threats, forcing security. Is love worth dying for? He joked bitterly. I replied seriously, yes. It reignited passion, composing Eternal Pulse, a hit blending our souls. Yet health declined. Callum's doctor diagnosed stress-induced issues. You need rest. Elena advised pausing rituals. Frustration boiled. Why can't we have normal? I shared visions of 1950s struggles, raids on gay bars, lives ruined. We've come far, but not enough. It inspired Callum to advocate, speaking at rallies. Love transcends hate, even death. Crowds cheered, but a counter-protest turned violent. Callum caught in scuffle. Bruised, he returned home. James, hold me. I enveloped him in chill, a poor substitute. The turning point. Discovering a hidden letter in my watch. From Tommy, unsent, confessing love. I was coward. Read aloud, it healed old wounds. Now I can move on, I signaled. But Callum panicked. Without me, choice crystallized, crossover alone or attempt embodiment again, risking all. Emotions peaked in debate. Stay for us, he pleaded. I wavered, love clashing with selflessness. Preparations resumed, ritual enhanced with Tommy's letter. Full moon again, tension palpable. As Elena invoked, power surged. My form solidifying, breath returning. Callum's eyes widened. James. I spoke fully. Callum. We embraced, real, warm. Joy exploded, but society intruded. Paparazzi tipped off, flashing lights disrupting. Energy scattered, me fading back to spectral. Devastation hit. So close. Aftermath brought clarity. Callum proposed living with the bond as is, defying norms. Screw embodiment. We make our rules. It sparked innovation. Tech experiments to amplify my presence. Like VR for touch. Controversial. Drawing ethicists' ire. Playing God. But supporters funded. Turning our story into movement for unconventional loves. Climax arrived at a gala honoring queer icons. Callum accepted an award, dedicating to me, Love knows no bounds. On stage I manifested visibly, gasps echoed, proof undeniable, shifting paradigms. But backlash, accusations of trickery, investigations launched. Homeward, we reflected, worth it? Yes, but toll evident. As fall returned, equilibrium found. Callum's career stabilized. Music infused with our essence. Society debated fiercely. Progress or peril? Our bond, a catalyst, forcing confrontations with prejudice lingering from my era to now. Equilibrium proved fragile. The gala manifestation went viral, cementing our reality but igniting firestorms. Governments pondered regulations on supernatural interactions. Conservatives decrying moral erosion. Queer communities split. Some embraced as empowerment, others wary of sensationalism overshadowing rights fights. Callum navigated interviews, eloquence shining. James and I represent love's resilience against hate. But privately, weariness showed. How much more can we take? I comforted with gentle signs, but longed for permanence. A final ritual beckoned. Elena refining with global experts' input. This could anchor you, James. Risks high. Failure meant my dissipation. Callum hesitated. If it goes wrong, I insisted. For us, preparations intense, emotions swirling. Fear, hope, love. Society watched, petitions circulating for /against. A supportive rally outside Elena's boosted morale. The night arrived, stars bright over LA. Circle drawn, artifacts placed. Chants rose, energy building. I felt transformation. Limbs heavy, heart pounding. Callum held my emerging hand. Stay with me. Success, I stood solid, alive in borrowed form. Tears flowed. James, you're here. Embrace real, decades of longing fulfilled. But joy short-lived. Media swarm, questions probing. How does it work? Ethical? Callum shielded me, but adjustment hard. I navigated modern world. Technology baffling, freedoms astounding. Yet, prejudices persisted. Stares, whispers about our freakish union. Family reached out tentatively, Callum cautious. Prove you've changed. Integration brought conflicts. I sought identity, job, purpose. Music with Callum healed. Co-writing albums exploring themes of redemption. Success soared, but envy from peers. Doubts if my influence cheated. Social debates raged. Does ghost love validate or undermine queer struggles? Panels dissected our story, a Rorschach test for biases. Personal growth ensued. I confronted past. Visiting my grave, closure with Tommy's spirit through Elena. Forgive, he signaled. Freed me, strengthening our bond. Callum healed family rifts slowly, bridges built on empathy. Yet challenges mounted. My form unstable, requiring rituals, draining. Society's acceptance uneven. Laws proposed banning such bonds, citing unnatural. We advocated, testifying, love isn't a threat. Victories small like protections for unconventional relationships. As years blurred, months but felt eternal, we found rhythm. Callum's music evolved, incorporating my jazz roots, inspiring generations. Controversies faded to discussions, our tale a legend sparking change. In quiet moments, we'd reflect. The crash that started it, the haunting that united us. Worth every conflict, Callum said. I agreed, heart beating truly. But was our love a triumph over society's chains, or merely a delay of inevitable separation? Is it true that love can truly conquer death, or does it merely echo in the hearts of the living until forgotten?